What is going on, everybody? My name is Kneeckoh. Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC Moveset Guide video. Today I want to talk about another one of the Hisuian Pokemon that I think has a lot of potential to be really fun. I am talking about OVERQWIL, as you could probably guess by the title. I think this Pokemon has a really interesting set of moves and has a lot of potential to be just really cool. And I have a couple ideas in terms of like teams and stuff that this could potentially work on. So I'm excited to talk about this here today. If this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are sub for more videos like this in the future. And let me know in the comments below. I know some people are like thinking about adding like Hisuian Qwilfish to their builder. Are you one of those people? Are you running Eevee-like Qwilfish? Let me know. But let's get into it. So OVERQWIL is really cool. OVERQWIL is really cool. The reason OVERQWIL is cool because of Swift Swim. This makes this relatively slow Pokemon very quick, and being the fact that we have access to a lot of these quicker rain setters now, like with Prankster Tornadus, incredibly solid. Very solid, allowing this Pokemon to really do a bunch of really fun stuff. So the set that I have on this is Water Terra type. Obviously, if you're going to be playing in Swift Swim and you have access to Aqua Jet Liquidation, you might as well be getting stab bonus on it. So that's kind of my thought process there. But then also you have Barb Barrage. This is a really cool move. 50% chance to poison with 2 times power if the target is already poisoned. So that's really powerful in its own right. I think it's really solid. And then also you have access to things like Protect and Liquidation, just to do a lot of damage, and obviously Protect to do Protect. But the EV spread I have on this Pokemon is 92 HP, 100 attack, 4 defense, 60 special defense, and 252 speed with a jolly nature. The only thing you're not outspeeding with this is, I believe, Iron Bundle with Booster Energy. You outspeed Regieleki as long as it doesn't have Choice Scarf. So all in all, you're doing pretty well here. So OVERQWIL, definitely one of the faster Pokemon. There is also Basculegion, which I do believe you outspeed under Swift Swim. So just something to note there. Basculegion, yeah, you're outspeeding that even if it's max speed. Jolly Basculegion, you're outspeeding that with Swift Swim. So just a little fact there. So I also have an Assault Vest set, and I don't know that this is necessarily the correct Assault Vest set. I'm thinking, let me think here. Let me ponder it for a moment. Honestly, for Assault Vest, do you even need Swift Swim? Our speed is doubled. Maybe. You have a really good defensive typing is the thing. So I'm almost thinking with Assault Vest, you could probably drop this and get Intimidate. Because your only weakness, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, is Ground type here. Your only weakness being Ground type. You run this with like max HP. Basically do this. And then run, you can run Adamant. And then instead of being like focused on like getting Swift Swim up, you could still set the rain for like the bonuses and Aqua Jet and Liquidation. But then like you could just you could honestly just go for like just outspeeding certain things under Tailwind setting. Honestly, I think the only thing that's like worth considering outspeeding is like Dragapult. Still aim for that. Still aim for that. Let me look. Dragapult. I always forget this because I'm so used to like trying to outspeed like Bundle and stuff. Let me see. So with a Jolly, it doesn't matter which one. Jolly 213 OVERQWIL. That'll do. So yeah, I think that something like this might actually be pretty solid. And you just run this under Tailwind and set up like Barb Barrage a bunch and like poison a bunch of stuff. I think that's gonna be really cool actually, now that I'm looking at this a little deeper. Assault Vest is definitely an item just because of its like it's only having the Ground type weakness. This could be very solid. I definitely think this could be solid because yeah, you just set in front of stuff and you intimidate the Ground type attackers. I'm thinking of like Tinglu, Ursaluna, Great Tusk is still running around. So yeah, you just intimidate the Ground type attackers and then you can just start doing big damage in return. I kind of like that. Maybe I'm gonna have to work that onto a team. Anyways, OVERQWIL just looks like a lot of fun. There's a lot of potential for this Pokemon to just do really cool stuff. So yeah, I think in terms of partners, the big one that comes to mind immediately is Glimmora, right? Glimmora actually seems like it could be really good for a couple different reasons. One, there's Pokemon now outside of Glimmora that are also setting hazards, looking at Hisuian Samurott and looking at Kleavor. those Pokemon also set spikes and one sets stealth rocks. So Glimmora having access to Mortal Spin not only plays really well in the format in general to clear debris, but also works really well in the format to set up for Barb Barrage. So for that reason, I think Glimmora is like a best friend of Overqwil. I think it's just a really incredibly solid combination. You just set your toxic debris, get everything poisoned on the field, use your Mortal Spin, get everything, you know, continue getting everything poisoned, and then just kind of like let Glimmora go down and then set up Overqwil to like sweep the rest of the game. I think it's really, really solid. On top of that, things like Tornadus are going to be great buddies with Overqwil. Mainly, you know, you are a Swift Swim user, so you can go like Rain Dance. Tailwind is the option also, like for the Assault Vest variant. Just having access to Tailwind is going to do a lot. Obviously you have access to Taunt, and then Bleak Wind Storm is just super solid. This is just really good for allowing Overqwil to be faster, but also giving it extra damage or Swift Swim with its Rain, because you are running Terra Water here, because you have water type moves, you are a fish. Having the ability to go in and just do lots of damage very quickly is very solid for this particular Pokemon. So I think that Tornadus is just, for that reason, very good. The Genies are just really good in general. I think the worst one right now is probably Landorus. I think Landorus is just, like, in a weird spot because of Bundle and, like, Terra Blast, Terra Ice Regieleki being a thing, that Pokemon really struggles to find a niche that Arcanine can't just do. And for that reason, I think that, like, it's just the weakest of the three, well, of the four right now. So, Tornadus is definitely a really good partner. What else do I think would be solid here? Oh, Chien-Pao actually could be pretty cool. Chien-Pao could be pretty solid, just to maximize the amount of damage that you're doing. I think Chien-Pao is actually really good in that regard. But then also just other water users, like if you think of like Palafin, something that's going to benefit from being in the rain is also going to be a really good partner for this particular Pokemon, or other Pokemon that maybe don't like taking fire type attacks as much, like Chien-Pao, but also thinking like Goldango, things like that. Other Pokemon that just don't want to take that fire type damage, playing in the rain is very good for them. So something to consider when running a Swift Swim Pokemon in general, or a Pokemon that you know you're going to have on a rain team. Very good. Obviously, if you're going to have rain up, Urshifu Rapid Strike never hurts. Urshifu is just going to be an absolute menace its entire format, because of Unseen Fist. It just is so freaking powerful. It's ridiculous, honestly. Urshifu is going to be everywhere, so Urshifu Rapid Strike never hurts to have on a rain team, so might be worth trying to rotate that in as well. So a lot of options there in terms of teammates for this particular Pokemon. It's Pokemon that aren't going to like looking at this. Obviously, having access to poison damage is very big for like one of the biggest threats in the format right now, that being Fluttermane. Really puts you in a strong spot against this particular Pokemon, especially if you're running Swift Swim. You are outspeeding this, because most are not running Boost Your Energy Speed anymore. It's just not something that you're seeing a whole lot of. So even if you're playing up against like a max speed Fluttermane, max speed Flutter, you're outspeeding under Tailwind and you're outspeeding with Swift Swim, so you don't have to worry about this Pokemon pretty much at all. And you just do crazy amounts of damage to it. So all in all, very, very solid into like one of the biggest threats currently in the format. Very good in that regard, but also like just good into a lot of ground type. Ground type was still so prevalent, so popular going into Reg C, that I think a lot of that's going to carry over, and we're still going to see a lot of ground types for a while. So things like Ting-Lu, things like Great Tusk, obviously we're seeing Ursaluna. So there's a lot of Pokemon right now that are just problematic in terms of ground type damage. Overqwil, while being weak to ground, outspeeds them all. Especially if you're in like rain. If you're in the rain, you outspeed them all anyways. But like this particular Overqwil probably needs a little Tailwind support to outspeed Great Tusk. But because of these things, this Pokemon just kind of eats up the biggest weakness that this Pokemon has. So obviously these are going to be the problems that you're going to have to face. Ting-Lu, Great Tusk, Ursaluna, anything that's going to shoot you with a ground type attack, you know, Landorus, hold on, where is it at? Lando, you're going to have to worry about anything that's going to hit you really hard, but then you just Terra Water and you rock these Pokemon back, right? So there's a lot of powerful options into the main thing that causes problems for this particular Pokemon, which I think is really incredibly solid. Just a lot of good things for that. The thing you do have to be worried about with this Pokemon is obviously your main source of damage is going to be doing things with Barb Barrage, because it does so much damage. It's a base 120 power move if things are already poisoned. However, you do have to be worried about those Pokemon that just can't be touched by it. So things like Corviknight, Goldango, King Gambit, you know, anything that is going to just avoid that. Scizor, I don't know how popular some of these Pokemon are actually going to be, but you get the point. Steel-type Pokemon are going to be a problem for this Pokemon just because you can't hit them with your main source of damage. You're going to have to rely on your other stuff to kind of deal with it. Obviously, Goldango getting hit by a Crunch would suck, so you're able to handle that Pokemon in that particular fashion, but the rest of them, you're going to have to rely on Terra Water and doing damage with like Liquidation and stuff to kind of get rid of them unless they Terra away from their immunity, and then you can start going back in with Barbarage. So just something to consider there. Steel-type Pokemon can cause you a lot of issues. Steel is just a consistently fairly decent typing anyway. So, you know, like, oh, there's another one, Hisuian Goodra. This one's going to cause problems for you big time. So definitely be watching for those Steel-type Pokemons that are going to be immune to your poison. But all in all, oops, I didn't mean to delete that one. I wanted to delete Goodra. All in all, this Pokemon looks like a lot of fun. I don't know how good it's going to be, much like Basket Legion. I think Basket Legion is good on the right team. I've been tweaking the Legion team that I used on in a video the other day. I think like right now is the best time to try out some of these goofy Pokemon to try and find their niche, because everybody's just kind of messing around with stuff. But like, you know, people are going main to like the bread and butter of the format, so you're gonna see a lot of like Go Fast Urshifu teams, or you're gonna see a lot of Trick Room or Saluna stuff, right? But you can find this really cool niche for a lot of these Pokemon like Basket Legion that do so much damage and work very well into a lot of other teams. And I think Overqwil is one of those Pokemon that right now we can find a really cool spot for in the format. So those are my thoughts on this Pokemon. I'm excited to use it myself. If you enjoyed at any point, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Also, be sure to check out the Discord. People over there hanging out, playing Pokemon all the time. And if you're interested in seeing anything else from me, check out any of these videos that you see here on screen, because I post daily competitive Pokemon content. There's always something to check out. But until next time, peace.